Okay. I was listening to something. I don't know. This is my second listening to of Jim Cornette talking about promoters, promos, and stuff, and it was all about the Nikolai Volkov, comedy promo he was trying to do, and when he started going over that, I had a flash in my head about why, and it wasn't that. It's about the whole wrestling industry, about keeping it kayfabe. And for those that don't understand, kayfabe is, as I explained to Cedra, it's the magician never tells how he or she did it. That's what kayfabe is. Kayfabe is the wrestler. If the thing is they broke some ribs, then no matter what, even outside of the company, they sell their ribs. When they do an interview, they don't talk about the match from the insider's point of view. They talk about the match as if the fans know that it's all real. They don't talk about, oh man, I asked Naito, wow man, I thought you was going to be gushing there. No man, you don't. After having a heated match with someone and it's heel versus face, or there's a rivalry, and then you go on the podcast or something and talking about the whole thing back and forth just 2 days after the match. Or explaining, oh yeah, after the bubbly, I put on the makeup and then I talk to everyone and say, hey, the makeup looks really crazy, so I went with it, man. No, that's... Well, tell the whole world that it's just LOLs. It's professional wrestling. I remember, and I know why people are hurt today. There was, people always trying to expose the business. That was the big thing in the 80s. It's fake. Or you're going to and then they try to rationalize and whatnot why it's fake. You're going to just lay there and let somebody jump off the top rope onto you. That's why it's fake. Okay, you found one thing and then that's why the whole thing is fake. Now, quite honestly, I could do that with religion easily.
You can do that with anything.
I can do that with politics. I can do that with your relationship with your significant other. I could do that with your car. I could do that with your own birth name. All right? I could find the one flaw in something and be like, well, the whole thing is fake. You're fake. Your name isn't really pronounced that way. If you actually look up the heritage and stuff, that means you're pronouncing it wrong. So you're not real. You yourself are fake. So, and I thought that back then, not to that in depth, but I was like, I could find one flaw in anything and call it the whole thing fake. Mm-hmm. You can find a flaw in any and everything.
Yeah.
A diamond would have a flaw, but that doesn't mean the diamond is fake. It just means that it's not a perfect shaped diamond. So, people found out about that, and then they ABC or NBC did a interview with Captain Lou Albano and kayfabe. Okay, so you managed this team, that team. Yeah, yes, I did. You did this and that and this and that. Yeah, it was hard. It was, but and he's kind of got his thing going. You can tell his Captain Lou Albano, his voice and whatnot, and it's all good. It's right there on camera. You can see him. But then she starts going into other things. And Captain Lou Albano goes into his shtick of being outraged and saying all kinds of stuff. And the thing is, he's protecting the business no matter how obvious it is that it's all a work. He's trying to protect it no matter what. No matter how dumb he looked, he's going to try to protect it. And the interview ended when she said, I tried to ask him these questions about if professional wrestling is real or fake. And he just went to his character. That's how he went to his character. And I'm like, wow. And so it wasn't long after that where it was wrestling's greatest secrets revealed. The whole secrets era where everything, the secrets of this, the secret, everything was a secret. Everything had to be a secret. I hated that shit. Mm-hmm. I hated that. TV shows, cartoons, everything based off secrets. And they're doing it today, but that's not the whole thing. But it makes shows boring most of the time. Anyway, in saying that the secrets, this guy unveils, this is how you do the Huracan Rana and showed it off the top rope. The one backflipping isn't the one in control. It's actually the one that's sitting down. He's the one that has to push off and jump forward and flip himself and hold on to the legs and explain all this other stuff. And I was like, it don't really explain the times when they don't hold on to the legs but they get thrown off. And, that's what I'm saying. Do I know wrestling at that point? I knew wrestling was not, how can I say, real in terms of outright damage. You get hit with a chair, you get suplexed on the floor. I was like, that right there, why aren't they all jacked up? Because you can hear them hit. There's no sound effects in the arena, although people try to pass off the sound effects. But all this other stuff is happening, and other people are trying to expose the business. Vince Russo's Attitude Era, and then the finger poke of doom, and all these other things are happening that keeps exposing the business. Women doing mud fights on Raw, and a few on SmackDown, and tag team matches where the teams are made up of people that make no sense. There's the IC champion and the world champion who never wrestles anyone around the world. And they're facing against another team that make no sense because it's the top heel and then the one that's after the other title, and they're teamed up, and then both people on the same team don't even like each other. So you got two faces that hate each other and two heels that don't like each other but agree that the faces suck. And it's all breaking down. It's stupid, it's stupid, it's stupid. And I understand there are a lot of things to explain certain things. I know Vince McMahon don't like tag teams. I get that. But other promotions were doing it. And, oops, hit my fan. But my questions, as pro wrestling became exposed, as I'm sitting, Cedra's sitting here, I don't know if she's going to say anything or even has to say anything. But I would really like if a wrestler hears this, or a promoter, or a former promoter, or someone, and if you're listening, please spread this. Spread it on Twitter and send it to a wrestler or someone that you know and whatnot. And this isn't me doing a gotcha. This isn't me trying to come down or anything. I just think about how promos are. I think about how the pro wrestling industry used to be. I remember how grand it used to be, and when I finally got into it and started loving the sport of professional wrestling, yes, I call it a sport, it got further and further exposed, which did nothing to me, but I know it broke the hearts of many. And breaking the hearts of many means that they're going to try to come after you even further. So my question is, even though jaded wrestlers or jilted promoters or wrestlers kept trying to expose the business, regardless of that happening, why didn't anyone else just try to cover it up? Why didn't other wrestlers just, okay, that's what they're saying, we're going to blacklist you, we're going to blackball you or something, and we're going to run this thing as if it's absolutely real and not expose anything? Why not just keep the flow going and let the fans just keep arguing amongst themselves? Or, hey, there's this new video on why wrestling is fake and all this other stuff. And no matter what they see, no matter what they say, no matter what they hear, you, the professional wrestler, the professional wrestling promoter, why not just keep it going as kayfabe regardless? Why allow the fans to dictate how much is exposed and why keep it exposed? Why even put wrestlers in your company that has exposed the business before they were there? Why not keep the illusion going? And even though it's not an illusion anymore, it's still that people can't tell what is a work and what is a shoot anyway. Because there's a lot of things that happen in the wrestling ring where someone takes a legit shot to the ribs or to the face, or they get cut open and it's a mistake. They fly over ropes and gash themselves. They fly over the ropes and cut themselves from stem to stern. And they got to keep going no matter what. Why not keep it going? Why let the fans dictate it? Why let the wrestlers dictate it? If the wrestlers are going to keep exposing the business with their buddy chum high-flying antics, why not just not give them a platform to expose the business? Why do that? Give them a platform and expose it. You know, the Young Bucks were popular, yeah. Now, this isn't me just ragging on them, but this is just as an example. The Young Bucks popular, but they keep throwing out the super kick. They throw out multiple super kicks, which ultimately kills everything about the super kick or the side kick, the cravat kick, whichever it is. It kills Chris Adams' innovative move. It delegitimizes it. I don't understand why let them continue such a thing. When it got started, why not just say, no, we're not going to kill the super kick. It needs to stay protected. Why let them further that? And if they didn't like not letting them have their fun, and they go to another promoter, why would that promoter not say, hey, no, we're not doing that? But then you let it go and go and go, and then they just keep doing it. Then the fans love it. And then when you take it away, the fans aren't getting the candy anymore, so then they don't want to see you anymore, your promotion. And then it kills your promotion, because now your promotion can only survive if you bring in the Young Bucks every once in a while. And so if you take the Young Bucks away, the fans are like, who do you have that's Young Buck like? Who do you have that's really turns something epic into something weak? You know? Why keep that stuff around instead of just protecting the business? You know, why? And another thing, why let wrestlers and promoters, why would you let people like Vince McMahon and whatnot buy out your company? I don't understand that, because that exposes the business. Vince McMahon is doing it in Europe right now. As we speak, he's buying territories and forming up more businesses, him and Triple H, and that kills the local promotions in Europe, well, at least Britain and Great Britain. It kills their local promotions and bolster NXT and other stuff. And so now, because they've gobbled up the fans and their money with their higher prices, and, you know, WWE is godlike, now the other promoters don't have anything, so they got to fold, they got to close, or they've got to merge only to get bought out. Why sell out? Why give your promotion away to someone that's not going to respect it and has a track record of 50 years not respecting professional wrestling? That's what I don't understand. You know, and if you are a current professional wrestler, and let's say you aren't doing the, you know, overly flippy floppy kick out of everything type stuff, and you got your craft honed, you're trying to be respectful for the business, to the business and yourself, why work with somebody that doesn't respect the business? You know, someone like Jimmy Havoc and other hardcore people, because once you get thrown through table after table after table, night after night, then what can possibly beat you? The only way to be beat is if you're thrown through a table, no matter the size of the other person, unless you do go against someone that's epically huge, known for their power, a few moves done, they can say, oh, he equals out the damage that those tables and whatnot would do. You know, so my question is, why it's bad enough you got to give your body to someone in the ring and hope that they protect you. I think it's on equal par. Why allow them to use you to hurt the business even further? Is let alone they'll protect you, they'll do good, they'll do right by you in the ring. They're probably nice and decent people behind the scenes, yes, but yet why let them? Because you are letting them. You know, if someone booked the match, you can say, I'm not wrestling that person. And I get it. You know, you're not probably in the power to say no, but at the same time, this is when some pride kicks in. You're a grown ass person, man or woman. You're over there, you're 18 or older. You grown. You can make your own decisions. Matter of fact, damn near required to. And you can tell the promoter, hey, no, I'm not working with this person. I respect the business and I want to respect your company. I'm not working with that person because I know what they are going to do. I know what they are about.
There are...
Wait, they ain't nobody going to hear you. Hold, let me get the mic to you. To your grill piece.
I got it. There are too many different factors that were at play for the question can't be answered simply.
Yeah, I know that. It can't be.
It's a change. It was a change in the climate of wrestling. It was a change in the climate of technology. It's a change in the climate of the audience. All the audiences now want to see now is a car wreck over and over again. It's just car wreck porn. They just want to sit there and gawk until at the car wreck or the train wreck or whatever it is, the decapitation, until somebody don't get up. They don't care about the people in the ring. Vince doesn't care about the people that work for him. He just wants to be a narcissistic mega whatever to fulfill his ego. That's the only thing it can be, with the strong desire to crush anything, any smaller promotion, destroy all the territories, and then start the same thing on another continent. And then groom somebody to do the same thing once he drops dead. It was a perfect storm of social bullshit, technological advances, growth of population, and one narcissistic asshole who came from behind the commentary desk to be Vince McMahon.
I mean, he didn't come from behind the commentary. He just put himself there.
I mean, visually.
Yeah, visually. Okay, yeah. Look, I hear what you're saying, and I get that, you know. And granted, while I was talking, I wasn't really factoring that in. I wasn't even really thinking about that, because I was sort of bypassing it. Because even though everything, you know, you can record, everyone can record every match from every angle. They can slow it down and say, hey, we saw this. This is what we saw. Yada, yada. You know, and I've seen plenty of things where the knee lift never connected, where the rope hung Enzuigiri didn't connect. You know, it hit the forearm, never touched him, maybe came within, 7 or 8 inches of their head, too far. I've seen that even recently, you know, to someone that I love to watch anyway. I wish I could see more matches, but still, regardless of how accessible everything is, regardless of the climate of the fans changing, that's what I'm talking about. Why not just say, we're not going to listen to you. We're not going to listen to your shouts of, we want this, we want this. Just, you
have to care. As a wrestler, you would have to care. Jim Cornette is so enraged about where wrestling has gone because he cared very much. Now, one thing that I have not listened to a bunch of interviews of a bunch of different wrestlers. I haven't. But of something that stands out about a handful of Nash interviews that I've heard, he's very money oriented.
Highly money oriented.
It's about making money.
Yep. Don't take a bump unless you're going to get paid.
Which I get, but that removes a certain amount of care about the business as a whole.
Nash at first was about the business and making wrestling look good, and I think he and some others got traumatized. And
wouldn't be surprised.
What I remember him saying in some interview so long ago, that he watched some matches, he's done some things, and then he saw how when wrestlers retired, what they was left with, and that was nothing. They wrestled, they broke their bodies for a company, and when it was all done, they had nothing. The company didn't take care of them. They didn't mention them. Nothing.
And that fact alone is enough to be like, fuck all this shit. I don't blame him. If that's what tipped the scales for him, I don't blame him.
I get that.
he's got to look out for him if nobody else is going to. Him and his family.
And I get that. Because you don't want to be someone at home married to a wrestler, and the wrestler at age 35 or 45 is like, I can't move. I can't really flex my ankles. I can barely use my back. My knees are pretty much shot, and I need a new hip. And they've only been wrestling for like 6 years. That, I get that. That's not my focal point on why. I mean, but you know what? That is a component. It's a major component. Mm-hmm. My focal point is, why not just keep the suspense of belief? Why not hold on to that? Work out your differences legally, lawfully, all this other stuff. Do that. But at the same time, make sure the fans don't dictate how a company is ran. Extreme Championship Wrestling, people shit on it, but it wasn't what everyone says. I can go back and watch 5 or 6 events, and out of that, there might have been maybe 3 crap matches. Mainly, honestly, I'll be honest with you, any match Tommy Dreamer was in, it was boring as fuck.
He's so boring.
But
I don't even know how he earned his nickname.
The innovator of violence.
I don't know.
I mean, sometimes you just give somebody a name and just roll with it. I don't know how he got it. Tommy Dreamer, that's just that. But outside of that, Tommy Dreamer, beautiful guy. Outside of that, from what I've seen, listened to, beautiful guy. Even when we saw him, when we go see ECW so long ago, it was just a snippet of Tommy Dreamer, what's up? And he looked up, and he gave this smirk, and he gave me a thumbs up and waved and moved on, and don't know me from jack shit. Mm-hmm. He was looking dead at me, opposed to New Jack and him. You hanging down with I don't know who the skinny white girl was, but I'm like, get a room. He looks up, gives me the finger, fuck you, and we all crack up laughing. I know he don't remember that shit, but stuff like that, So I don't understand, and this, Yoshihiro Tajiri, he, call his name and he looked like, oh my God, I've been exposed. He ran away.
That was funny.
That was hilarious. But damn, why not give the people not what they want, but what they need, and then tell them you're giving them what they want, like they used to do, Just, like right now, final question. Regardless of everything being the way it is right now, this given second, with all these other wrestlers doing all these crazy things, trying to get noticed, trying to get to the big time by doing everything wrong. As a matter of fact, 2 questions. Why, first question, why don't these wrestlers stop right now, full throttle, cold turkey, just stop with all the hardcore hijinks and just say, look, why don't we just build this company properly, and instead of giving them hardcore stuff to make them yay for the moment, we actually do this right.
Baby.
I mean, just stop cold turkey, build it up right, and then the hardcore stuff, do that shit for their major events, their major stuff like that. So once a month, they bring out all the hardcore stuff to settle all of that stuff, no matter how minor or frivolous the storyline might be. But they get to do their hardcore stuff, and the fans got something to work up to, and they got something to wait for, and not try to top it every single month. Not try to top the last hardcore month with something worse. Just do the stuff, build it up right, They don't think they're doing it wrong. If you have to think you're doing something wrong to be able to say, hey, let's do this right. They don't think they're doing it wrong. They're not going to have that fun. They most likely don't. They're probably like, it's for fun. It's for lulz. It's just acting. The stuff that I hear on Discord and
whatever
stuff.
Their reason.
But that's just, those are fans talking. When the wrestlers do what the fans are, fans should never become wrestlers, Yeah. And what I mean by that, there's the fan that gets in that wants to expose everything and have fun, and they do it. And then they get their friends in because they know what to do. And it keeps going and going until every dumb Yahoo is doing the thing that no Yahoo should do. Instead of someone saying, fuck you, get out. Weed them out. They don't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. I think it was Conan that said that now promoters are they fast track them through, and then it's like, you know what to do in the ring. You can do your flippy floppy, because people come and go, and people are going all over the place, and some just quit altogether because they're not going to make a living at it. And it's like, why not do it right? And
they don't know they're doing it wrong, and anybody who gets in is getting in to get into the WWE and become Dwayne Johnson.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I'll be straight up with you. If anyone exposed the business to me, it was Dwayne Johnson. He was the first one to really expose the business to me. Now, if y'all want me to explain that, I'll do that in a separate one. But he was the one that really exposed the business to me. Out of everything that I'd ever seen, and I like Dwayne Johnson, from what I've known of him as a person through interviews, TVs, and things like that. You can't hide who you are in every movie. Every movie, a piece of you is coming out, that real you, and you have to spot it to see when that real piece of them is there. But wrestling wise, he exposed it a lot. So my final question, because I know you got sleep and I've got this damn delicate promo to do for CR Fire Pro, dealing with a cell phone. Regardless with it all the way it is right now, why not just stop? For all the promoters, all the ones that know better, Chris Jericho working with Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Cody and Jericho, Dustin Rhodes, Dustin, Cody, and Jericho. I place the responsibility on them. The Young Bucks should know better. They really should, because they were trained by Old School. But I got a conspiracy theory about All Elite Wrestling. I do, and it makes sense. It's not a stretch. But I place upon them, they know better. Jericho of all knows better.
It's the Jericho show.
No. It's about how the show is ran.
Yeah.
It's about the best performances come from those that know better, but they don't get the show to run like they know better. Just their matches.
Okay.
That's why it's part of my conspiracy theory.
If a train is moving 100 miles per hour downhill with no brakes, who's going to throw themselves in front of it, try and stop it?
No one. You put some TNT in front of it and dynamite that damn track and let the train fall off, and then you rebuild it and put a better train on it.
If you can think that fast.
No, I mean, if I had the dynamite. If I was knowing that at some point in time, there's going to be a train barreling down near our home, and it's going to jack things up, then I need to go to a place where 50 rails is not going to be a problem. I'm going to blow that shit up. And, that's... But see, here's the thing. That's why I'm saying, foresight. Not hindsight, foresight. That's why I say Jericho, Dustin, and Cody know better. I watched Dustin grow up in WCW. I watched Jericho when he finally came to the States, or at least in WCW as Lionheart, young little Lionheart, when he was starting to get a little muscle on him. I watched Cody when he finally came to Japan. I watched him as Stardust. I watched him, and I thought he was doing the gimmick well, but I thought he was better than that gimmick. I watched all this. They know better. Damn that. Their father taught them better.
Yeah, the father came up in a different time that changed during his lifetime.
I get the change. Change is not bad.
No.
It's how that change is that's bad.
Yeah.
You know,
And they're not trying to stop the train.
they're not.
They're trying to get on board.
And speed it up. If we get on board, it'll go faster downhill. And that's what I don't thoroughly understand. Why not just be better? You know, I mean, why a the dysfunction of pro wrestling? Why aid it?
The first step is acknowledging you have a problem. They don't acknowledge that.
I think there's a chance that they know it's a problem and they just working with it for whatever they can.
It's possible.
I just don't get it. I really don't. Because my mind is, man, remember when wrestling used to be this? Yeah, that was back then. Well, why can't we get that effect now? Why don't we just, we ain't got to go super old school. There's nothing wrong with the massive flippy floppy and things like that. Why don't we use that and old school? Let's modernize pro wrestling, evolve it into something great instead of let's live a comic book life of, video games tapping X repeatedly until you win. Why not just stop it and do better? Because all these promoters could do better. Like Capital Wrestling, they're doing great, but they aren't going to get recognized for it. NWA is doing great. They're getting recognized for it only because of Jim Cornette. But it wouldn't have taken Jim Cornette. It just would have taken them some shows and some advertising. People would have got on board quick. But there's so many places doing it so good that won't get recognized. But so many places that do it crappy and they blow up.
When I used to work at that drugstore back in the day,
yeah,
there was a
legal drugstore. Okay.
Yeah, it was legal. It was a pharmacy. There was a cashier. He was the head cashier there for a long time, and we were talking about some movie. I can't remember what it was, but I said that the book was better, and that usually the books are better. I remember him saying that he'd rather watch the movie. I'm like, why? You get to use your imagination and you can make it anything you want to. And now I'd rather just see it in front of me. If you can figure that out, then you've got your part of your answer.
Because he's mentally lazy.
There you go. It's the problem, not just with professional wrestling.
I think it's all the lead in our water. Because there is.
Oh yeah, I know there's lead in water, but
I just wish people would do better with wrestling. I really do.
And people have to do better, period.
Yep. I got nothing else. Anyone listening to this, please, if you like what we had to talk about, like it, share it. This don't get noticed if those that notice it don't spread it. So I'm just saying, help us out. It ain't like we're going to make money off of this, but it'd be nice to be recognized for our work. So if you like what we're having to say and talk about, please spread it around. Spread it to your social media. Let your friends know about it. And if you've got requests, things that you want to get our take on, what you and things like that, send me messages on Twitter. It's all the information is down there. Send me messages there and stuff. And if you want to go to an online banking area that actually does beautiful work, go to CR Banking. It's aspiration. I just, referral link. That's all that is. The tinyurl.com/CR Banking, just referral link. So just requesting to you to give us a chance, all right? If you know a wrestler, promoter, let them hear this. Maybe they could answer. And if they think we're just asking stupid questions, then I wish they would be strong enough, brave enough, and accountable enough to put it down in the comment sections or let us know in one of the, ways to contact us. I'm not afraid of criticism. I just have no respect for stupid criticism. So if you want to point out where I'm wrong or where I'm, I guess, naive or whatever, just let me know. But explain instead of dumb, stupid, So just helping people's out, all right? In any case, this match just got started. I'm just going to cut it here. But this has been Cedric Kennedy and Cedra Owens. Thank you for listening.